Peace be upon you. Finally, beloved Libras, know that this new moon in Libra also marks a new year. As you know, on the 2nd of October, we have Rosh Hashanah. I'm going to start with a prayer. First and foremost, let's remove any blockages. My God, keep my tongue and lips from speaking deceit, and to them that curse me let my soul be silent, and like dust to all. Open my heart in your law, your word, and after thy commandments let my soul pursue. As for those that think evil of or against me, speedily thwart their counsel and destroy their plots. Do this for thy name's sake, do this for thy right hand's sake, do this for the sake of thy holiness, for the sake of thy word. That thy beloved ones may rejoice. Let thy right hand bring on help, salvation and answer us, bring on help or salvation and answer us our prayer. And I wrote here, may all the temples raised against him fall. Yafe Rafa, Yafe Ra, Yafe Ire, Yafe Shalom, Yafe Nisi, you are our banner as well. We come in his name. So Rosh Hashanah, let's get into it. I mean, you can always find it on Chabad.org. I will place a link there. What is it? The birthday of the universe, the day when God created Adam and Eve. And it's also currently celebrated as the Jewish New Year. Rosh Hashanah of the year 5785, we are in the year 5785. And it begins at sundown on the eve of Tishrei, which is October 2nd, 2024. And ends after nightfall on Tishrei 2nd, which is on October 4th, 2024. So 3 days through and through, 3 nights. Blowing the shofar or the ram's horn on the mornings of the holiday. So you can put the music of shofar if you want to celebrate, just at least symbolically, except on the Shabbat. And the feasts usually include anything that's sweet. You know that, Libras, you have a sweet tooth. So round halach, bread, as in it's studded with raisins, apples dipped in honey, right? Sugar apples, all of that. The observances also include candle lighting in the evenings and desisting from creative work. Much like in the Shabbat, you're not supposed to put anything out there. So don't get creative in these 3 days, right? From the first, I would argue from the first, that is the 2nd of October, so the 1st of Tishrei of the new year, that falls exactly on the 2nd, and up until the 4th of October, sundown. Try not to get creative, as in restrict your tendency towards fixing things, or right, starting something new, such as chores, tasks, projects, signing contracts, and so on, or channeling, trying to tap into some vision, some just rejoice. This is the energy. Rejoice, indulge, celebrate. Yom Kippur will follow 10 days later, as part of the Yamim Noraim, which is the days of awe and the highest of holidays, basically. Okay, generally speaking, Libra, for you, it's going to be about your image, perception of yourself, self-worth. So recently I stumbled over a channel whereas we have the clear example of what happens when the vulnerable The ones that are struggling with mental health come across tarot. What does that do? Well, they're simply vessels for some forces, and in that video, one specific video, you can actually, Libra, understand why this is such a phenomenon. And that's going to confirm to you this, what the spirit, what the enemy actually is. Because you can see it channeled straight for a sister. It's not about her. Obviously, she doesn't control what's coming through anymore. Because again, you work with dark forces. And if you're broken in any manner, they'll just take over. And it's exactly what's happening there. So just focus on the energy. Get to know the actual spirit that's coming through. It's one of hatred. It's aimed at destroying you. It doesn't matter how it comes. It may come out with light. It may come to bear gifts. It may come to promise you things. It may come just to give you that whole dopamine hit where you hear exactly what you want to hear, not what you need. So there's so much truth in that. And that's going to also show you how the demonic works, right? They're going to tell you truth, right? And then you're going to run with it. So you are going to be biased. There are going to be lots of fallacies. But it's aimed specifically at destroying you. You have an enemy, whether you realize it or not. Archetypal Empress, Divine Feminine, Venus, Lucifer, the most beautiful of them all, and so on. But if you're not careful, indeed, you may be the first, if you fall, to develop the most severe of narcissistic traits and so on. Also due to your pursuit of knowledge, beauty, justice. Remember, in this general energy, generally speaking, with this new moon, it's rather focused on marriage, actual marriage, higher levels of commitment, covenants, vows. Don't make any of them until the 4th, right, of October. But just know that they're going to come up, right? The issue is going to be extremely relevant and important to you. But it has to do, again, with your self-worth and the progress that you've achieved when it comes to getting to know yourself better, the things that you've overcame, the demon that you defeated. So now I would say, if you do watch this video, you will connect, be objective about it, and you're going to have a lot of stakes just right straight to your heart. You're going to feel it. Understand, the person has nothing to do with it. It's literally just an empty shell. It's a vessel that's delivering that to you. But you're going to finally meet the spirit that pursued you. It's a natural dynamic. It's going to aim at destroying God's chosen, let's just say. Archetypally speaking, you are supposed to represent the divine feminine, light, illumination, knowledge, justice, clarity, purity, fairness, nature, Mother Nature herself, and the Holy Spirit. Hence why the Empress archetype is so powerful. She's both mother, but she's also the host of the Holy Spirit. That's why sometimes I see her also as Piscean, with her in her Piscean traits, whereas she's merely a vessel, right? A keeper of secrets and of knowledge. The actual channel for the Holy Spirit, direct channel for it. So imagine, right? Marriage, beauty, harmony, peace. But yeah, generally speaking, first and foremost, justice. What is justice? It's obviously balance, harmonizing, and the balance in between duality and polarity, right? So integration, healing, stability. So it's basically the integration of the shattered selves, the false aspects of oneself, and healing, alchemizing them, and obtaining a sense of center that goes beyond definitions. Both the higher and the fallen self, right, are integrated in that center. So it's all about centering, and you're going to be attacked, and you're going to recognize in that energy that same force, the same spirit that worked through others. So you can finally release your pursuit of trying to understand why. It goes with the territory. You are archetypally the most powerful of them all. Hence, you are also the most dangerous. So there is truth in that. Getting you broken, getting you to serve a different master, corrupt, hurt, literally breaking your spirit. That's what's happening. It's how it works. In an attempt to dominate hosts or vessels for extremely powerful energies. There's a reason why Venus is also Lucifer, the brightest star of them all. Who doesn't want to rule over that, control that, subdue that? Right? So you are both the prize and the target. Because you're a vessel, you were born with the vessel for those energies. So darkness will come straight at you. It wants the best of the best, right? It's going to get them. So in that sense, yes, you're correct. Sometimes it will even play on that. Tell you how you should have more than anyone else. And so therefore, being centered is very important. The shadow work is extremely important. Because to humanity, whether you succeed or fail, there's going to be less of those beautiful energies that we need into the world, now more than ever. Every time you are selfish, every time you are broken or hurt or victimized, or there's less justice, there's less beauty in the world, there's less truth, there's less harmony. Marriages break apart, everything starts to become ugly, it strays so far from beauty and harmony. Everything is unjust. Children don't have mothers. Women don't respect themselves. Women don't help one another either. Everything we birth through that corrupt vessel, right? So you're here to alchemize, Lucifer. He's supposed to bring knowledge, yes. And he does bring truth, yes. For what purpose, though? So intention makes all the difference. You may pursue knowledge, but you always have to question why. What are you going to do with it? So yeah, you have been targeted. And most did not make it. But some of you did. Now you get to sit there face to face with the very spirit, with all the hatred that it can convey in the most honest of manners. Because you're going to see it's straightforward. There are not many filters there. That host cannot control that hatred that comes through, while she herself having no emotion whatsoever, unable to feel emotion. So what she's channeling has nothing to do with her. It's that spirit. Your arch enemy or your arch nemesis, right there. How do you defeat an enemy? You love them. You gotta understand what that means. You love whatever they may latch onto that's present within you. Embrace the darkness within you. Because that's the only thing that they can actually connect to. If there's no darkness within you, it's already integrated. You faced it and you accepted it. It can no longer affect you. Someone's telling you, for example, you are a liar. If that is true, then yeah, it will affect you. What's the point? Well, you see it, you face it, you integrate it, you release it. You no longer associate with it, you understand that it's a state that everybody has to experience, conquer, defeat, right? Overcome and correct. So you stand corrected. The more you refuse to do so. So yeah, does it use truth? Yes. Of course, a distorted form. And is the purpose or the aim trying to destroy you? Yes. You need to break a spirit. They attempt to break your spirit. separate you from the Creator, and therefore from making you unable to fulfill your purpose. Anyway, it's a trial, it's a challenge that we ourselves also have to constantly battle and face. It's doing the same with me, anything possible to prevent me from doing my part. Now, understand the energy behind things, not what's being said. Truth is truth. There's some seed of truth in there. You're gonna recognize it, but you also have to You also have to be able to recognize the intention behind, or how it's being delivered. Recognize the nature of the spirit that is coming through. The words may be true, yes, because of course they know us better, especially our evil inclination, better than we know ourselves, right? And recognize what its aim is. Its aim is to destroy you. Why? So that you can no longer fulfill your purpose, participate. I always give you the example of the jigsaw, the puzzle. One piece missing, we have a problem. Nothing is extra. Whatever is in excess, it's caused by us stripping it or taking it from elsewhere, disturbing the harmony, not being willing to, because of ego, because of the influence of the darkness. That's what creates disharmony. But generally speaking, there should be none. We don't get to determine the measure in which things are given, neither to us nor anyone else. How, when. That should happen naturally. It's the same with relationships, people that come into our life. And the more we resist, the more painful it's going to be. So, you're going to recognize your equal when it comes to capacity, intellect, and opposite in energy. You have to learn to work with that. That keeps you on your toes. Yes, it has you really check up on yourself and do the work. So, enemies as well can be a stimuli for growth. Opportunities and challenges, right? But the very fact that you have had such a powerful phenomena revealing exactly how important you are, because why else would you be the exact target? Why else would you be the first to navigate in mass towards this phenomena? In mass. No one else has done it in such an incredibly intense manner, nearly obsessive, that you have. Pursuit of further knowledge, pursuit of the occult, right? They were waiting for you. It's exactly what they wanted. Now, what are you going to do with everything you found out and you discovered, right? It's important. So, why else? If you weren't important, why would you be targeted specifically? So, this marks the beginning of literally the new era. This year, right here. It was a year of truth. It will continue to unfold in stages. And so, truth, light, justice, right? It's all gonna have to happen. And yes, you are the vessel through which that is just the more of that energy can be channeled into the world. Courage, for example, or fierceness or bravery is channeled through the fire signs, generally speaking, such as Leo, for example. Right? Justice, beauty, family, all of those, so many of the most important values, virtues that we need in order to build this new world are channeled through the Libras. If they're messed up, we're in big trouble. We're not going to see any justice anywhere, are we? So, balance yourself out. Don't take it personally, and understand that it's natural. You've been tested. And I agree, it's been quite a hard journey for you. It had to be. Only those who make it are capable now of channeling genuine, embodying genuine love, genuine romance, even in beauty, marriage, motherhood, unconditional love, fairness, justice, and honesty. Only the ones that made it. They had to be trained to do so. So they had to be passed through the fires, all the stages, they had all the trials, all in one incarnation. And many repeated over and over again. So you felt as if something was trying to break you. You're right. You're absolutely right. There are forces that you will perceive them as trying to break you. It's true, you have to break as many times as necessary until the actual essence of what you were intended to be can be embraced, can be revealed. And sadly, yeah, most will not make it. And they are the perfect prey currently. There's nothing we can do about it. So archetypally, and for the entirety of the wheel of the 12 tribes, this is extremely important. Remember, this is also the 10th month in the current calendar. So what does it mark? The end. Death. The end of a long process, transformation, acceptance, release, endings. Therefore, new beginnings. New year, new moon, and a new cycle. We're starting with what? With 11. 1-1. So you're gonna not proceed on this journey on your own anymore. First and foremost, you walk with God. Second, you have achieved some harmony. 11-11. Doorway, portal, gateways. It's very masculine, it's intentful, it's purposeful. Hence, hold yourself back until, at least once the full moon energy has passed, the new year, transitioning the new year, Rosh Hashanah is over by the 4th. And embrace the changes. I'm not sure, maybe I will speak also about simplified version of the name of the angel that you could actually meditate upon. Not ask, not beg, just invoke, let's just say, not directly or for any specific purpose. Just to connect with the overall energy. He's in charge of anything to do with finances, prosperity, and so on. Maybe, you know what, I believe there's a Rabbi, who was it? Rabbi Abe, Abe, I believe, in English. He would speak of this. And he does it actually quite wisely, because it's not easy to approach. People will, misunderstood, you misuse it, abuse it, and so on. And there's no way to protect them from the possible consequences for that. So, yeah, but he gives clear instructions. Either way, you're not to ever say the names out loud, which is actually quite hard to do. So that's the trick, not saying the names out loud, and always focusing on what you would use, whatever is granted unto you, which, by the way, yes, will work with people, but ultimately it's only from the Creator, right? So what would you do if the Creator were to? Because you show willingness and openness, that's why it works. To put it to good use, to pay it forward, to at least 1/10 of whatever you receive, you have to give it. So yeah, and there's a name of that angel that you can use. But again, I warn you against speaking out loud, and you have to recognize whatever corruption there is within you before calling them. And it's a simple thing, you just have to meditate on their name for 3-5 seconds, as long as it takes to say it in your mind, right? and even envision it, basically. And yeah, throughout the day, in the morning, around noon, and sometimes in the evening. It's even more powerful if you think of that prosperity for someone who is struggling. It's not really praying, but yeah. And maybe sometimes God will use you to bless someone else. Understand how powerful that is. So there will be some for you and some for someone else. It creates connection, basically. And it builds a you that you would be proud of, and you would feel fulfilled in being able to assist others. So you can ask, absolutely, but always by at least staying open to the fact that you're gonna pay it forward if you do receive something, okay? And yes, it does work for the pure of at heart, which most Libras that have whose spirits or minds have not yet been overtaken or spirits broken, actually will always maintain, right, the purest of intentions and spirits, despite all odds. And yes, the world may hate you. It doesn't hate you. It either feels betrayed by you in some form, or at this point they can no longer connect with what you archetypally, whatever archetypal energy you embody, or you should embody or represent. So they don't connect with beauty, just as they have distorted concepts of it, and right? So of course they would not be able to resonate with you in any way. Or it's simply about you being so far from what you were meant or intended to be, fallen in corruption in some form, that yes, the messages are mixed energies and signals that you send out, right? Your intentions may be good. The actions you take to try and make something happen are not, right? So you got to find some alignment, some balance in between what you feel, what you think, and what you do. But at this point, you're called to snap back to whatever you know yourself to be without being defined by it. So that ego doesn't take over and say, oh, well, I'm special. No, no. Each sign is crucial. We're referring to you as an archetypal matriarchal energy, and the feminine of the realm, that it's the energy of in which we currently exist. So yeah, you're absolutely detrimental to what we're going to be able to channel into the world next. Absolutely. Your foundation of earth element. When it comes to Empress, that's what she represents, right? The embodiment of abundance and prosperity and nurturing and life-giving force, spirit in the flesh, right? And virgin and so on earth, on this realm. And that's why we also have the Queen of Swords energy, justice energy. So you see all of the other aspects, right, as well. So learn to harmonize and accept them all, because each of them is going to be necessary. And understand you're going to have your own way, your own special, specific way in which you're going to be the mother feminine, the lover feminine, the priestess energy, the channel that connects to the divine mind and channels truth into the world, the fighter for justice, and so on and so forth. The partner, the wife, the husband, the mother. You can explore all of these traits and attributes wherever you can. Things so you don't have to do them in whatever you think society needs you to do them. So step out of those limitations. Even if you can just nurture a plant, do that, right? As long as you can channel that energy into the world. So nurturing is nurturing. It doesn't matter what, ultimately. So yeah, cultivate those traits of yours, and you're going to see wonders when it comes to instant sense of purpose, healing, etc. That's a someone that you would absolutely love to be, because it's closest to what you were intended to be to begin with. So the further away from what you were created to be you are, the more painful and the more difficult the journey. Aries, I'm guided towards something from the upper realms, the Queen of Cups. Love, compassion, empathy, intuition, an open heart, beautiful. Taurus, Of course, a challenge. The Four of Wands in reverse. Inability to work with others, obviously what you perceive to be as a failure, either business-wide, losses, generally speaking, again, due to your failure to be able to work with others, being overly materialistic and so on. That's a challenge right there. You cannot build on your own. And even if you do, what for? So you've built something for yourself that turns out to be rather more than a home or a legacy, or it's just a prison. No one wants to be there with you. I wonder why. So you gotta heal. Gemini. You got a decision to make. I felt it, left to right. Judgment in reverse. Oh, okay. It's karma for you. You got some very painful revelations to have to face. I believe the choice is really, it's easy to make. It's time for you to, live in your own truth. Come out, right? You gotta be what you are and own it. Be brave. Cancer, okay, we're still at the challenges here. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. You're not on your own. Stop acting as if you were. You're no longer single, Cancer. Can't have it both ways. Leo. Oh, Leo. Sorry, I got cold towards this deck. I'm sorry. The Nine of Wands. You're pushing through. A fighter. Follows all commands and answers all questions. I'm not sure you're ready to do that. And that's your problem right there. Understand that there's a hierarchy. Yes, you may be above others, but there will always be someone above you. You're going to be humbled in some form. Accept authority there where you find the strength to be wise about it. Focus on the goal and why you're doing what you're doing, right? Don't sacrifice the goal, the result, the outcome in this case, because you're so close to it by challenging authority because your ego got triggered. Careful. Virgo. Okay, it's Virgo. Two of Pentacles. God who supports the universe, fortune and fame. You're making the right choices financial-wise. Business is looking great. If you're opening a new one, you're making the right choice to do so. You have the experience. You're absolutely able to transition into something beautiful. You're expanding in a worldwide, actually, restriction. But I did call on that. We always have to consider that if something is restricted on this end, it means it expands in another. So that's what's happening. You're part of that expansive. Whereas you're connected to prosperity. You're putting the hard work in. You're brilliant, you're wise, you're patient. You're doing it. So, if you're looking back in the past, trying to obtain more funds or resources, or maybe someone owes you something, or don't pursue it. You don't have time for that. It may actually come back around to you in another form. Just release it. And I believe that's what you're doing here. You're cutting off useless expenses. You're quick to detect deceit or corruption or whatever, usury, and you just cut it out. If you had loans and all of that, you're also cutting it out. Wow, very wise, Virgo. Libra. Oh. I'm sorry. We got to reveal the challenge for you. We're in the lower realms. Oh, okay. As I said, prepare to have your world rocked upside down, and that's good, because you are on the down, Libra. Your forces trying to keep you there. Then just accept it, okay? What best shall just go. Smack right against that ground. Whatever's left of me, I wanna be that. Whatever's left, that's what I want. So we're speaking of the essence or restoration or correction. To such a level you experience it intensely because you have drifted for so long, but hey, you survived, you got this far. That's what matters right now. Okay, don't be defined by the entire journey. You did what you had to do. It doesn't matter. You needed to get to this point, whereas you're willing to look at this utter destruction and finality and chaos and of whether worldviews, dreams, beliefs, anything you've ever built, you're looking at it. So this is okay. It's there's no way around this. This is a failure. right? It is. And it's good. Accept it. So that you can receive what you're paying for with this. There are rewards for those who accept it. Those who fight it, it's hell. It's going to be hell. There's nothing there for you. You may try and pretend as if it's all well, I'm just going to go to office, I'm going home here. No, it's not. Strong advices for those living in those kind of a chaotic nations, lands, etc. If you sense the spirit of chaos rising right now, you have the possibility to up and leave. Just drop it. Go, 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 go. Recognize that. Promoter of discord, war, arguments, and falsehood. Gives generous responses. Okay? Generous, it's there. It's quite obvious. You know what's up. Don't allow any spirit of deception or wishful thinking, or act accordingly. You're going to be rewarded for it. As in, courage always pays, right? One more challenge for you. Another reversal, it's the Two of Wands. Well, that was actually not a reversal per se. Because I guess, yeah, you perceive it such as, everything works against you. In reality, no. It's liberation. It's pushing you, propelling you into the next stage. You're ready. Two of Wands. Tales of past and future can make one intelligent and bold. Don't count on your intellect. Speaking of, if you see that video, you're going to realize what I'm saying. Intellect, someone may actually appear to be completely rational, functional, extremely intelligent. There's no heart in it. Don't count on intellect alone. That was your lesson ultimately in this last trial. So, the challenge is 22-4, stability, and again, to do with you leaving something behind. No matter how strongly or firmly you believe it to be true, it's not. Let it go now. Okay? Scorpio. Scorpio. The Knight of Wands in reverse. You're suffering because of, generally speaking, you have to admit on how dependent you were of the validation of the opposite gender. It was extremely important to you, to your self-worth, you may actually be doing the opposite. You may be refusing offers or careful about that. You have a nature to you. If you betray it, it's going to come back and bite you. But you are wise to find a different way to go about it. Because this failed you in the past and you're not going to get hurt again. You're very cautious in relationships with others and you seem to lack the spark or the passion. All you have is bitterness, anger. Careful about ungratefulness because nature always moves to support Scorpio. Careful about ungratefulness. Don't cast away good people. As in, don't put them all in one pot. Sag. Oh, okay, Sag. The Ten of Wands, it's an ending for you of a long cycle, whereas you were carrying a lot on your shoulders on your own. Very intense. Spiritual communication influences religious men, teachers, and men of law. You're discovering, due to some powerful events, endings, closures, finality, legality, etc., something official, and you're seeing behind the veils now, or rather you're willing to embrace and act according to what you truly feel, what you truly perceive, right? So you're actually embracing your spiritual, or working on your emotional intelligence rather than strictly rational, intellectual, practical. It's all about those feels now. You're trying to be more authentically yourself, truer to your heart, and act according to that, which is very beautiful. Capricorn. The Emperor in reverse. Okay. Loss of status, much like Taurus. Earth signs are having to be humbled. They have to also return to some deeper understanding, seeking for a deeper purpose. Remember why they have this nature of, them being such capable manifestors. And that, there should be something other than just the money. What are you going to do with the money, right? With the stable job, with your wealth, with everything that you may conquer. Da, Sasha. Mama. Da. Da, mommy. You have to keep that in mind, okay? So, priorities. Aquarius. Oh, Aquarius. Oh. The Queen of Wands. Arts and sciences tells anything one desires, gifting it makes one any man subject to one's demands, gives good familiars. You're still trying to control this. It's a number 9 from the low realms. You're still trying to control this. You're still stuck in pursuit. And I'm sorry, this is a wanderer energy, a lone fighter. It's very lonely where you are. So even though your intentions may be the most positive, and in reality your actions show quite the contrary, shows your unwillingness to share yourself with others. Whatever reason, for it's always your choice to make, but you're one step away from that unfortunate event that will ultimately have you reconsider and shift your ways, your approach, and remember who you are, why you're here, what you truly care about, and embrace your purpose. You're escaping responsibility or what you perceive to be burdensome, or it may be even to self-judgment, you not feeling worthy enough. And it's what most extroverts actually are. They're introverts undercover. Well, over covert, let's say, in your face. But yeah, you're neither kind of, right? Whenever something gets too serious, you subtract yourself from the situation. And you may tell yourself, I just love the adventure and exploration. Yeah, for what? What purpose? Do you want to share your experiences, or is there anything you are actually conquered throughout all of this? And how is that going to benefit anyone? Do you also consider the pain of those who actually meet you, especially in your most broken aspects? Do you see the connection in between whatever you seem to see as failures and how it actually impacted other people's lives? Maybe you can choose to balance that out by doing what your heart's desire is, to make other people's lives more beautiful. Except don't do it because your ego is stroked by it. Do it because you genuinely care about it, which is true. But unless it's being done to a specific extent or for a specific reward, you're just gonna not do it. You either feel unworthy or not ready, or so what? You're gonna sacrifice and betray yourself and the people that you could assist? Nothing is required of you other than you being your authentic self. And even that is not imposed upon you. So you have the freedom. You may think, oh, look at me, I always manage to escape. No, you don't. People sometimes just have to let you go. There's nothing they can do. And that's love, I guess, to some extent. Whether it's for themselves or you, what difference does it make? Or is it just because you yourself are choosing to let others go? Pisces. Yep, 9 of Cups in reverse. Something's raised to a conscience level. An acceptance of some dream, some vision, some hope, of it not being able to be fulfilled. It was either a delusion or deception, self-deception. It doesn't mean you have to give it up entirely. Let me read it for you. God, the kindest giver. You've given with expectation. Again, you've betrayed yourself. Yes, you love to give and help and love. Your behavior, though, it was quite the opposite. You've given poison that could not fulfill anyone, not even you. Healing and preserving health and cures diseases. So it's not about you failing altogether. It's about maybe you could try something else. Because the bitterness, the resentfulness, the blaming, the demanding, the entitlement, So it's all about emotional maturity and how to better apply according to our genuine heart and intention. See how dysfunctional we are in between what we feel and what we do. And that's what it's all about. Okay. The reminder and affirmation. For whomever this may concern, consciousness, much like water, is meant to flow with ease, with no interruption. Just has to cross over, recognize blockages, get past them. Don't take it personally. I am awake. I am conscious. I am in the flow like water. Keep that flow. You're about to enter a new flow, as we're saying. A new level of existence. Your vibration has shifted already. You're entering it. Practical wise will be marked by the realization of something that needs to be let go of. Sometimes you can revisit it if it's still there and it's a wish and you feel it as I need to do this because it's close to what I feel myself to be. So you just have to find another way. You have to be willing to let yourself be guided to continue to be that river, that water, that, right? But keep it moving. Many blessings. May you be healed, sealed, guided, and protected on your path. Shalom.